I'm highly spiritual. 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 I'm highly spiritual.
Welcome back to another episode of the Highly Emotional Podcast. You know, if you're looking for light, you're looking for love, then, you know, this is the podcast for you. So lately, I've been noticing a lot of people getting caught up in like the hive mentality, getting caught up in the bullshit of the world. And I feel like it's necessary for me to address it, address the hive culture, address what everyone is dealing with. And what I'm noticing, it's like you look around and everybody's getting caught up on these stereotypes or on these societal norms of, you know, what the media says, you know, that you're supposed to tune your frequency into. And I feel like it has to stop. I just recently did a meditation in Maryland, and I sat down and we did an open discussion. And one of my bros actually said something that was extremely important. He said, can you meditate in the hood? And I was like, I sat and thought about how valuable that question is. And it's been sitting on my mind for a few weeks now. And I feel that in the hood is probably one of the places that you need to meditate the most, because when you leave your house and you are out in your community, you're going to be triggered. You're going to be caught up in societal norms or systems that are in place to keep you at a low vibrational state. And in order to prepare yourself to be glitched out of that construct, you have to meditate. You have to balance your consciousness and how you view and perceive things, because the last thing you want is to jump out your bed without preparing yourself for the world and then just getting caught up in the motion of those societal constructs. And so let me break it down. Is like, when I'm talking about the hive, usually a lot of us, we deal with the hive. Anytime that you're in an emotional setting, and let's say you're trying to get your point across where you've been offended. A lot of times when it comes to the hive, it's usually a group of two or more people. When you're having a one-on-one conversation, it's an even exchange, even battlefield. You can go blow for blow on energetic forces. But sometimes when you are having a conversation and you're trying to validate or get your point across to this person and express your emotions, if there's another person in the room, it becomes a 2v1. And at that point, anything that you say, even though it may be your feelings, it may be your truth, will become invalidated because there's two oppositions. And not to say that every conversation is a situation where they're your oppositions, but it's two people with the same or like opinions. And therefore, anything that you say is always going to be pushed aside based upon you being outnumbered. And a lot of times we fall into these stereotypes, or we fall into the victim mentality because we try to get our point across or try to break something through or be different or transform or any of these things. And then we become invalidated based upon the hive mentality. And everybody is either a victim of the hive mentality or we're a partner of the hive mentality. A lot of us, we operate in the hive mentality without even thinking about it, because you'll get in an environment, you'll step into a matrix, a construct, a room with your friends, your family, and because everybody else is drinking, you don't usually drink. You don't like drinking because it makes you feel sick, but because this is your environment and your company, you'll drink. And we fall victim to that because we don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't choose to think for ourselves. We don't even realize that we then became a part of the hive. So you look at social media, you look how all these things are portrayed for us consistently as a community, as a culture. Like you look at that whole football thing that just happened with Shadur Sanders. It became a Hive thing, and you have to realize that they want you to be emotionally connected to these situations, because when they have control of your emotions, then they have control of your reality and how you perceive things. So you get attached to these cults, these teams, these systems. No one is bigger than a system. And once you accept that, the system itself, no one person is bigger than that system. So therefore, when you participate in it, you will be emotionally controlled. Yeah, it's a fucked up situation. They made an example out of him, but I cannot be emotionally tuned into that, because if I do, then I'm going to be offended and I'm going to result back into the Black community hive mind. I won't allow myself to be controlled by that type of hive mind oriented people. You have to kind of take note. So when it comes to the hive mind, you have to take note. Realize that when you say something to people, when you say something and it's your opinion that may be different than other people in the world, and there's two people, you have to realize that you have to be mentally strong in order to get your point across, because if not, you're going to feel attacked. And that is something that incriminates our people all the time and keeps our people down, because everybody is caught up in this mentality of trying to be accepted in our culture. Everybody tries to fit in with, the Black community. We sit here and set the standard. If you look at the last episode that we just had before this with Brother Truth, we set the standard and say that this is a woman to us. And, this represents the Black woman, and this represents the Black man, and this represents the Spanish man, and this represents, the Spanish woman, and so on and so forth. But you really look at what's portrayed by the hive mind, you realize that it's bullshit. Although our oppressors oppressed us, they only implemented or created the program, but now we maintain it ourselves. We maintain the program just off of accepting this is what our culture is. For example, my brother grew up on the south side of Atlanta, but now he lives in a white community, air quotes. And if you were to have a conversation with him now, based upon his dialect or the way that he carries himself, you would think that he didn't grow up on the south side of Atlanta. And it goes to say that if you are in a room full of Black hive-minded people, they would say, oh yeah, he not Black, or he not a real nigga, or he ain't been through shit, or he ain't this, and that. And that's the thing. We accept the hive mentality as our image, and therefore it's not doing anything better. A lot of us have been caught up in the hive mind so long that we continue to poison ourselves. We continue to poison ourselves with toxic music, toxic masculinity, toxic behavior. And at some point you have to sit here and say, how much longer am I going to continue to destroy myself, destroy my community, and settle for less? The hive mentality is bullshit. It has to be broken. In order to break it, you have to change your environment. For example, you take a snake and you put it into a small tank. It's not going to grow as big as it can. You put it in a big fucking tank and it's going to grow. That's the same thing with you. That's the same thing with me. The environment that I place myself in determines my growth. So if I sit here and settle just for these hood environmental structures, then I can't expect myself to grow into the man that I really want to be. You're not going to become successful if you stay in the hood your entire life. You have to break out of the hive mentality. You have to break out of the structure and the constructs of what they tell you a Black man or Black woman or melanated person is supposed to be. And you have to seek information. If you've been spending The last 10 years in your hood, being true in your hood, and ain't nothing changed. And you got to ask yourself, why? Why has nothing changed? It's because you are stuck in the hive mentality. In order to break through the hive mentality, you have to reprogram yourself. You have to reprogram yourself, do different things. Your brain creates loops, so you've been stuck in a loop. You've been constantly like this. Boom, boom, I wake up, brush my teeth, go to work. It's a cycle. Your body is on automation. In order to rewrite your future, you have to rewrite your now. Become conscious of your decisions. So with me, I start to notice when it's a hive. So therefore, I'm mindful when I say certain things. I realize that if I'm in a room full of real street niggas or white people or this, and that, based upon how I speak or carry myself is how people are going to look at me. So if I'm in a room full of niggas, I got to be the one who breaks through the hive mentality. If I disagree with something, I'm not going to settle for it. I'm going to explain it. I'm going to tell them what it is because I refuse to fall into the structure of the hive mind. So it's like you chilling with your homies and, you know, within yourself, you know that the event in which you guys are planning to do isn't going to benefit you. You have to tap into your true self and say, hey, this doesn't feel right. Following your intuition. Are you in the hive mind? How long have you been in the hive mind? How many times are you going to continue to participate in the hive mentality? When are you going to grow out of it? These are the things that you have to ask yourself in order to break through those loops. These hive-minded people are all around you. You are the hive mind. If me and two quote unquote woke people are in the same room, and you know we're all talking about the same thing, that's a hive. That's a hive. There's woke hive minds. There's ghetto hive minds. There's political hive minds. It's all about how you perceive it. I've gained this power in which I can overstand and see how the hive is working. I can say, all right, well, these two niggas are the hive, or these two people over here are the hive. Or, hey, when we're together, we can conquer this person's energy because there's two of us and we can instantly invalidate their opinion or their perspectives. It works in so many ways that when you start to notice it, you start to realize, okay, when I address certain situations, it might be better for me to say it to just one person instead of multiple people. A lot of times we get offended by what people say based upon the environment of how many people are surrounding us. Sometimes you got to pull people aside and say, hey, bro, I didn't fuck with what you did here. Let me explain to you this, and that. Because if you go out your way and you attack them in front of a group of people, they're going to feel like they're attacked. They're going to feel like the victim. They're going to feel like you're trying to embarrass them. And that is the hive mind. So when you pay attention to what the hive is doing with mass media marketing, propaganda, you pay attention to all these things, it's just to control your emotions. Them sending women to space wasn't for women empowerment. It was to control your emotions and for you to hop on the trend of these popular influence of women going to space. It did nothing for women astronauts. It does not, like, literally all these things, the Pope dying, all these things are hive events that are meant to control your emotional state. And when you tune your frequency into them, then you become a part of the hive. And next thing you know, you're speaking about these events. I just displayed to you guys multiple events in which I'm right now participating with the hive to explain to you and display to you what the hive is. These catastrophic quote unquote events in the world that are created to control your emotions are hive events, creating the hive culture. So It's on you. It's on us to tap into ourselves and say, okay, I'm not going to participate into the Hive events anymore, and I'm going to learn how to think for myself. You have to disassociate yourself from these type of events and figure out what is valuable to you. Because when you're too tapped into the Hive culture, then it separates or it distracts you from what you're trying to manifest for yourself. So I want to allow myself to be a part of the Hive cultures. And then there's this other thing that, I've been talking about lately is, bro, it's a lot of fake woke people. People think that woke is just about knowing that you are oppressed by white people or the oppressors. I don't even like to use those terms. But this is my thing, and, people are going to hate it. I've had more people who are melanated and quote-unquote black try to harm me and take my life than a white man. Yeah, there have been oppressors that were of white skin, but yet my own people are keeping and implementing the program every day. And we don't hold ourselves accountable. We don't sit here and point our finger at everybody. Oh, I'm woke. I realize they're doing it to us. No, you're doing it to your fucking self. You are oppressing yourself every day by participating in hood culture, eating unhealthy food, and creating this environment in which you have to fend for your life every day. If you really think about it, it's more people that look like you that are trying to harm you than people that look like them. They may be the system or the program creator, but they don't maintain it no more. We maintain it ourselves. We maintain it ourselves by the behaviors that we participate in, by the events in which we celebrate. Y'all celebrating people who are degrading our women, degrading our men, trying to tell us, hey, this is what black culture is. No, it's not. It has to end. All the standards and the constructs in which people say this is how melanated people or black people or Hispanic people are supposed to act is bullshit. Because if you look at our community of black culture, ain't nobody talking about family building. Ain't nobody talking about financial literacy. Ain't nobody talking about emotional intelligence. They not teaching you how to build a foundation in your home. They're not. They're displaying women that have multiple partners, men that are confused, saying this is what a masculine man. Bro, that's toxic masculinity. As a man, I never have to display that I am a man. I already am. I am what I am. I am who I am. At the end of the day, what deems me a man is based upon what I put into action, what I deem as masculine towards me. I'm so tuned into my masculinity that my daughter can do my nails and she could put makeup on my face. That is how comfortable I am in my masculinity. I don't ever have to prove to anyone else that I'm a man because I already am. And that's what bothers me is that we sit here and have to say, this is black culture. This is a real nigga. That's all bullshit. Those are all fake hive-oriented propaganda that people continue to celebrate. All them rappers and all that other shit that they continue to celebrate is bullshit. It's hive mentality. It's fake wokeism. Wokeism isn't just knowing that the oppressor is who killed our ancestors. That's not woke culture. Woke culture is being conscious in your decisions, being conscious of what you're implementing every day in your decisions and your life skills. You sitting out here participating in, shooting up and doing drugs and, disrespecting your women. And that's bullshit. You disrespecting yourself. You're not holding yourself accountable. And the thing about it is a lot of people think that I'm so against a black woman. It's not that I'm against the black women. I think black women are exceptional. They're beautiful. But the culture in which we celebrate is unacceptable. Hey, women are the closest creatures on this earth to God based upon the fact that they can carry life. They can bring children from the ether spirits, souls from the ether, from the spiritual side of the world, and bring them into our reality. And yet we sitting out here saying that this is a woman. No, that's not. That's not that's not the representation of a family. That's not something that you want to build with. Some people might, but to be truthful, hey, I don't see it working out like that, because she doesn't value herself like God. She values herself like men. If you really look at it, men on this planet are lower than dogs. And yet we idolize women trying to be like men. That's not the move. That's not what it is. I'm going to be honest. I think that is bullshit, and we have to break out of these societal norms and these societal constructs and rewrite what Black culture is. Black excellence isn't Oprah. Black excellence isn't just Barack Obama. That's not Black excellence. Black excellence is not what you guys say it is. If you really look at what Black excellence is, those status of Black excellence, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and all that shit, that's not what it is. If you really look at that, those are people pushing the narrative of the oppressor. Those are false realities. Black excellence, hey, is honoring your women, honoring yourself, honoring your family, building, hey, having that relationship with the Most High, implementing value in your family, breaking generational curses, not sitting here keeping up an act in front of a camera to impress people and keep them entertained. That's not Black excellence. Because you're out here exploiting your community, your people, hey, just for the sake of money, and you sit here and say that's Black excellence. It's not. It's not. So we have to rewrite what we're deeming our people and our culture. We have to break through this bullshit shit. Go out and get the knowledge. Like I said, you've been spending 10 years at your mama house raising your kids in your mama house, and you have nothing for your name except for the Gucci belt that you bought. It's bullshit. Do better.